Alfa Romeo Quattro C at its best, the Spider version. A little two-seater of the Mink indeed cannot fail to offer a wind-in-the-hair experience. It weighs in at 940 pounds and its engine, the centrally positioned 1750, delivers 240 horsepower. The drive, of course, is rear-wheel drive.
Michele chose the wrong model. Much better is the Alfa Romeo Quattro C Coupe, which weighs at 45 pounds less, but more importantly, mine has an Akrapovic exhaust that shatters eardrums.
Francis does not understand that weight is not everything, but you want to put the pleasure of traveling with the wind in your hair, with the insole caressing and warming your skin. After all, this isn't a race car, it's a high-load, emotional sports car. It's a work of art on four wheels, but no one in their right mind would care if it takes a few tenths of a second longer to lap the track.
Because you should know that this one is definitely a few tenths faster on the track than the Quattro C convertible. Not only because it is lighter, but also because it has this carbon fiber roof that lowers its center of gravity, makes it even more agile. So this is really the only Quattro C that makes sense to buy. I was noticing that neither of us chose Alpha Red. Although I have to tell you, I would really get it in white. In contrast with the carbon, it looks great.
In my opinion, however, it's better gray, but more importantly, it's better Spider. I mean, look at it, it's gorgeous. Oh, and then I have normal headlights. I mean, yours look like the eyes of the fish from the radioactive colored Simpsons.
Are you kidding me? Look, it's a carbon fiber work of art, and then yours is too normal, gray with normal headlights, it doesn't ring a bell, and then, most importantly, I have the Akrapovic exhaust that not only sounds good, but is also cool aesthetically.
You're just a tamarind a little bit, really, but I admit it, I envy you a little bit.
Exhaust. Instead, I noticed that we agree, unfortunately, on the interior, because we both chose the same one.
Yes, I really like this red leather that contrasts well with the exposed carbon, while the car radio is really 90s. But whatever, when you get into a Quattro C, the last thing of interest is really turning on the car radio. The Quattro C has no power steering, so in maneuvering it's concrete. However, as speed increases, it gets lighter. In any case, you always have to keep your hands firmly on the steering wheel because the wheels tend to follow every unevenness of the asphalt.
The transmission is a dual clutch, 6-speed automatic with paddles on the steering wheel. And it is as quick as it needs to be, though smooth in action. Here, perhaps most purists would like a manual transmission, but I assure you that this car on the limit is so demanding that you'll thank the fact that you don't have to take your hands off it.
The engine, on the other hand, is the classic, the 1750, and I say classic because for Alfa Romeo it is a real cult. Just think that it was first fitted in 1929 on an Alfa Romeo 6e. The turbocharger is the star of this engine. As soon as it springs into action, puffing and spluttering like a steam locomotive, it propels this 4C with incredible impetus. Acceleration from 0 to 100 is burned in 4.5 seconds. They are...
Despite being rear-wheel drive, I must say it is quite composed, unless you are really overdoing it. But you're more likely to end up with a broadening nose than a slipping tail, and that, I think, is a good thing. But still it remains a car that is not really very reassuring, but for that very reason, it's an adrenaline rush. I love it.
Agree with Francis, the Quattro C is not a car that gives you confidence right away. First it wants to get to know you, or rather you have to get to know it before you take certain liberties with it. But because of that, it offers a driving experience unlike any other sports car on the market.